Hello again, you're still live with The Full View on SABC News, and we're joined tonight by security strategist Andy Mashaile to help us make sense of the dramatic first day of evidence by the suspended Organised Crime Unit head Richard Shibiri appearing at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Andy, good to have you on The Full View as always. So Shibiri basically dealing with two things here, right, in the main. The primary allegation being that he is one, allegedly, of the senior police members who are at the alleged cartel member Vusimuzi Ket Matlala's beck and call. The second being that he even received a bribe, allegedly, of about 80,000 rand from the same man. What do you make of his presentation of himself and his case to the commission today?
Tembekile, good evening to you and to the production team, and Bongi were there. He started off very well, trying to reframe the narrative that you have just shared with me for my response. For the fact that he admitted that, or he considered that he did get some money from Matlala, it makes it heavier for him from where the commissioners are sitting to believe that he did not have a relationship with Ket Matlala. Second to that would be the missing messages, WhatsApp messages on the phone, resetting of the phone, and messages being deleted as part and parcel of maintenance. I don't know what maintenance would that be that leads to messages being deleted. So obviously the commissioners and the commission will definitely look at that from a further investigation point of view and say, why would they need to do maintenance, and why would he put money? Why would he ask Matlala to drop money into his son's account? It would sound like money laundering, if not a bribery. So the narrative that he had reframed very well in the morning was that initiative or the advantage was taken away as the day got older.
Right. And another theme, right, that's emerging from even the presentation of his statement today, that's General Shibiri, is that we're dealing with another senior member of a criminal justice, well, a law enforcement unit, right, in this country, who admits on record that he did advise, help Ket Matlala to deal ultimately with issues that required actually something as basic as going to a police station. Shadrach Sibia made a similar concession, as did General Sinona from KZN as well. How do you explain all of these men who are senior police members helping, advising Matlala, etc., if ultimately, as they say, it wasn't for personal benefit?
Tembekile, it puts them at a disadvantage when compared to the allegations rattled by General Nkamphanazi on the 6th of July. It actually lends credence to what he was talking about. One would think that should Mkhwanazi not have come out, one would not be able to know that there are instances and situations where police officers would borrow money from suspected criminals or suspected crime cartel bosses. So all these police officers who admitted under oath that yes, they have had a relationship with Matlala that led to some financial benefits, either for the son or for the son of General Sibia's ceremony, wedding ceremony, and him, Matlala, having gone into a partnership with the son of Ntate Sinona, Tato Sinona, tells you that that relationship was not supposed to have existed because of their level as well as the organization that they work for, in terms of the influence that they have with regard to many other things.
Another startling admission, concession from Shibiri today is that ultimately he confirms that there are people who are working in law enforcement or the criminal justice system who are working with or for criminals. That's good and well, but it begs the question, if we hadn't had the briefing by the KZN Police Commissioner Mkhwanazi in July last year, was he simply going to sit on his hands and allow the corrupt elements, if he excludes himself from that, to continue then to run riot?
Tembekile, that is a very dangerous environment where you have to look away when you see your colleague or your crew, as they know, your crew taking money, stopping the golf or stopping this freeway or highway patrol car, stopping, and you see your own colleague taking money. It's very dangerous for you to raise that matter with the seniors because you end up dead or you end up out of a job. Your question touches me deeply and moves me greatly to the effect that we needed a senior leadership at SAPS to have stood up and addressed these matters. They have been there, they have been known. We have known of police officers who hijacked trucks, and some of them were arrested, some of them are out of the SAPS, some of them still operate. Long story short, or as we conclude, Sembekile, we meaning senior leadership of SAPS, have the responsibility to have stood up in the past 10 years to sort the police out because that conduct of them looking the other way led to the erosion of trust between the communities and the police.
Let's come back, Andy, to something that you raised earlier around the messages, right, that were presented in Shibiri's case. One that's got people talking is where he is accused, basically, of sending a message to the celebrity blogger Musa Kaula, trying, basically, to prevent Kaula, allegedly, from publishing what would have been damaging information about Vusumuzi Matlala. He says he never sent such a message. Now, the commission, one expects, is going to interrogate that claim because it does have in its possession these screenshots of the supposed conversation. If it is found that the general has not been honest about what was deleted, what he did and did not say, where will that leave him in terms of consequences?
It leaves him in a dire strait, Tembekile. It leaves him to be torn apart by the tigers and the tigers. That is Tate Madlanga and Commissioner Baloy and Commissioner Kumalo and Mama Baloy. It exposes him as a dishonest police officer and a dishonest individual. I am waiting for the cross-examination that speaks to the issue of proof to us that you did not send the message, because we have proof here that you did send the message. So I think it's one of those things that he came out upfront to say the messages on my phones have been deleted and there is no way in which I will be able to recover them as advised by the Cybercrime Unit Lieutenant Colonel in Tshwane. So these are some of the serious stories that we have to focus our attention on in terms of integrity and honesty of the testimony, or the integrity of the testimony that he has put up.
Andy Mashaile, listen, always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for being on The Full View this evening, Andy.